But this whole thing's been a nightmare.
I'm more concerned about my marriage.
Here's a look ahead.
I'm happy to always help.
I'm gonna need all the help I can get.
Oh, yeah, I like that one. Can you send it to Mommy?
Go. Be with your family.
You are trying to destroy his life, and there's nothing you can do about it.
The hallowed halls of Forrester Creations are no stranger to drama, betrayal, and passionate entanglements. But in a stunning turn of events that has sent shockwaves from the design studio to the CEO's office, it's Thomas Forrester who is once again the epicenter of a potential seismic shift. However, this time, the tremor isn't born from his infamous obsession with Hope Logan. Instead, a new, mysterious force is poised to enter his life, leaving everyone from his formidable father, Ridge, to his long-suffering sister, Steffi, asking one burning question: is Thomas Forrester finally on the verge of a healthy, transformative new love? For years, the name Thomas Forrester has been synonymous with one thing: hope. His all-consuming, often dangerously single-minded love for Hope Logan has defined his every move, shattered his sanity, and alienated his family. From manipulating her with a synthetic version of her deceased child to proposing on a whim, Thomas's journey has been a masterclass in tragic obsession. His recent, hard-won redemption arc, culminating in a period of genuine self-reflection, successful co-parenting of Douglas, and a newfound maturity, has been a breath of fresh air for fans who have long seen the good man buried beneath the pain. His final, heartbreaking release of Hope, acknowledging that her love for him would always be conditional and secondary to her lingering feelings for Liam, was a moment of profound growth. It was the act of a man who had finally hit rock bottom and chosen to climb out, not for someone else, but for himself and his son. He stepped back, focused on his work, and became the stable, reliable father Douglas always needed. But in the world of the bold and the beautiful, peace is a fragile and fleeting illusion. And the calm in Thomas's life is about to be shattered, not by a regression into old habits, but by the arrival of a woman who sees the man he is now, not the monster he once was. belinda type, number 1. A familiar face from the past, a wholly new dynamic. Spoilers indicate that the catalyst for this upheaval is not a random newcomer, but a figure from the periphery of the Forrester world. Her name is Dr. Juliet Sterling, a brilliant and ambitious art historian and textile conservationist who was briefly consulted by Forrester Creations years ago on a heritage fabric line. Back then, her interactions with Thomas were purely professional. He was deep in the throes of his hope obsession, and Juliet was a dedicated academic, laser-focused on her career. Now, she's back in Los Angeles, having accepted a prestigious curatorship at the Getty Museum. Her path crosses with Thomas's once more when Eric Forrester, ever the patron of the arts, decides to launch a collaborative, limited-edition collection between Forrester Creations and the museum, blending historical textile techniques with modern haute couture. Eric, impressed with Thomas's recent innovative designs, personally assigns him to lead the project. The initial meetings are all business. Juliet is sharp, perceptive, and holds no preconceived notions about the old Thomas. She interacts with him as she would any other collaborator, with respect for his talent and a clear-eyed focus on the work. For Thomas, this is a revelation. He is so accustomed to the wary glances and whispered warnings that follow him that Juliet's neutral, professional demeanor is both disarming and refreshing. belinda type, number 2, a connection forged in creativity, not chaos. As they spend long hours together in the design office, surrounded by swatches of century-old silks and Thomas's futuristic sketches, a genuine creative synergy blossoms. Juliet is fascinated by Thomas's process, his ability to translate the emotion and history of a fabric into a contemporary masterpiece. Thomas, in turn, is captivated by her intellect and her passion. She speaks a language he understands, the language of art, of creation, of seeing a vision and making it real. This is a dynamic Thomas has never experienced. With Hope, the connection was always fraught with desperation, a love built on the unstable foundation of his manipulation and her pity. With Juliet, the foundation is mutual respect and a shared, all-consuming passion for their craft. Spoilers tease several poignant scenes where Thomas finds himself opening up to her about his designs, his hopes for Douglas, and even his past struggles, not as a confession, but as a part of his story that she listens to without judgment. Steffi, upon meeting Juliet at a company event, is immediately wary. Thomas, just be careful, she warns him in a private moment. This seems fast. You just got out of everything with hope. Are you sure you're ready? But Thomas's response shocks her. It's not like that, Steffi. For the first time, it's not a roller coaster. It's peaceful. She sees the artist in me, not the ghost of my mistakes. O button blood type, number 3. Hope's unexpected and complicated reaction. The biggest shockwave, however, ripples directly to hope for the future. Hope Logan has become accustomed to being the sun in Thomas's solar system. Even after ending their engagement, there was an unspoken understanding that he was waiting in the wings, that his love for her was a constant. The news that Thomas is not only moving on but is doing so with a beautiful, accomplished, and intellectually stimulating woman like Juliet hits her like a ton of bricks. At first, she tries to be happy for him. She tells Liam, "It's what we wanted, right?" For Thomas to find his own path, to be happy. But as she witnesses their easy camaraderie at the office and sees a genuine, unforced smile on Thomas's face, a smile she didn't put there, a confusing sense of loss and jealousy begins to gnaw at her. Her peace with Thomas was predicated on his static devotion. His forward motion forces her to confront the finality of her own decisions. Spoilers hint at a powerful scene where Hope, under the guise of discussing Douglas, confronts Thomas about Juliet. "I just want to make sure you're thinking clearly," she says, her tone laced with a concern that borders on possession. Thomas, calm and resolute, replies, "I've never thought more clearly, Hope. My life isn't on hold anymore. I suggest you make sure yours isn't either." The exchange leaves Hope reeling, questioning the very foundation of her own happiness. O button blood type, number 4. Ridge and Brooke, an unlikely alliance of concern? On the home front, the reaction is equally tumultuous. Ridge Forrester, who has played the role of his son's toughest critic and most desperate advocate, is caught in a maelstrom of emotions. He is thrilled to see Thomas thriving, free from the shadow of Hope Logan. The professional collaboration is a coup for the company, and Thomas is shining. Yet, Ridge's paternal instincts are on high alert. Is this new woman too good to be true? Is she just another complication waiting to happen? In a twist of fate, he finds an unlikely-sounding board in Brooke. For once, their concerns are aligned, though for different reasons. Brooke's primary worry is, as always, Hope's well-being. She sees the turmoil in her daughter's eyes and fears that Thomas's new relationship will send Hope spiraling back into a complicated emotional state. "We just got her back, Ridge," Brooke pleads. Thomas needs to be more considerate. He can't just flaunt this new whatever it is in her face. Ridge, for perhaps the first time, defends Thomas's right to live his life against Brooke's protectiveness of Hope. "Brooke, my son has spent years in hell over that girl. He's finally out. He's working, he's being a good father, and he's found someone who sees the man he's become. I'm not going to tell him to slow down for Hope's sake." That chapter is closed. The exchange highlights the fundamental shift that Juliet's presence represents. Thomas is no longer a pawn in the Hope Logan Forrester war. He is his own man. Film projector the horizon. Love, or just another beautiful illusion. So, what does the future hold for Thomas and Juliet? Spoilers suggest their relationship will progress quickly from professional to personal. A romantic dinner, a visit to an art gallery where they are seen holding hands, and even a scene where she bonds with Douglas over a history book are all on the horizon. Douglas, who has yearned for a stable, happy father, is shown warming to Juliet's calm and intelligent presence. However, this is a soap opera, and no happiness comes without a price. The central conflict will arise from two fronts. First, the lingering specter of Hope's jealousy, which could manifest in ways that inadvertently sabotage Thomas's new happiness, perhaps by driving her closer to Liam in a panic, creating a new version of the eternal triangle. Second, and more intriguingly, is the question of Juliet's own past. As she grows closer to Thomas, will her own history come to light? Could there be a reason a woman of her caliber is suddenly so captivated by a man with Thomas's notorious reputation? The potential for a hidden agenda, a past connection to one of Thomas's old victims, a secret commissioned by a rival company, or even a personal tragedy that draws her to wounded men, is a ticking time bomb. One thing is certain: the landscape of the bold and the beautiful has been irrevocably altered. Thomas Forrester, the man defined by his obsession, is taking a courageous step into the light of a new day. Whether this new horizon brings a lasting love or a devastating new lesson, it marks the beginning of a thrilling new chapter for one of daytime's most complex characters. The entire Forrester Logan Spectre universe is watching, holding its breath, and completely, utterly the bold and the beautiful, BNB. Spoilers hint that Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton, may deliver a public marriage proposal and give Hope Logan, Annika Noel, an epic fashion showstopper moment. Hope is indeed gearing up for a fashion show now that Hope for the Future has been reinstated at Forrester Creations. It's sure to be an event to remember, especially if Liam uses this as an opportunity for a grand gesture. Thanks to Deke Sharp's, Harrison Cohn, sneaky decision to slip his portfolio in the new designer pile, he seems poised to give Hope's line a fresh perspective and a little more edge. Hope's next fashion show should be a roaring success as a result, so she'll no doubt have a celebratory moment with Deke on stage after the showstopper. That's when Liam might make a daring move and publicly pledge his forever love to Hope. Liam was pleasantly surprised when he saw that Hope no longer had Carter Walton's, Lawrence St. Victor, engagement ring on her finger. It may not be long until Liam decides to replace that ring with one of his own. BNB fans know Beth Spencer, Jordan Gracie, would love nothing more than for her parents to tie the knot again. It's clear that Beth is already hearing wedding bells when it comes to Liam and Hope, so their remarriage is bound to happen sooner rather than later. Hope and Liam have obviously been married before, but Liam may want to go big on this proposal and let her know that he's truly playing for keeps this time around. It's easy to imagine Liam dropping to one knee in front of everyone following Hope's fashion show success. Liam might hope to make the occasion even more special and announce that he wants to be the man by Hope's side through all of her victories, both personal and professional. Will Liam pop the question after Hope's upcoming fashion show and leave her stunned? Will Hope ultimately say yes to Liam's marriage proposal and agree to make him her husband once more? The bold and the beautiful spoilers suggest Liam and Hope's next nuptials should be on the horizon, so stay tuned for updates on any wedding news that might make a huge splash. CDL will have other scorching bold and the beautiful spoilers, news and updates for you, so make us your one-stop BNB source. The bold and the beautiful, BNB, spoilers hint that Poppy Nozawa, Romy Park, could use Luna Nozawa's, Lisa Yamada, baby for a Bill Spencer, Don Diamant, reunion plot, and make a surprise custody push. Once Poppy gets updates on all the latest Luna madness, she might do a little scheming herself. What if Poppy still wants to be with Bill and decides this baby could be her ticket to a reunion with him? Bill clearly wants to get back together with Katie Logan, Heather Tom, instead, but that may not stop Poppy from pursuing him again. Perhaps Poppy could view Luna's impending bundle of joy as a way to cement her place in the Spencer clan. Luna is counting on winning Will Spencer's, Crew Morrow, affection and becoming Mrs. Spencer in the end. However, Will's adamant that he loves only Electra Forrester, Linnea Grace, and has repeatedly voiced how disgusted he is by Luna. If Luna is locked up when the birth happens, then who will raise her child? Katie intends on getting custody of this baby with Bill, but that may not be how things actually go down. Will might raise his son or daughter himself, but that could ruin his chances of moving forward with Electra. Bill and Katie seem ready to take on the responsibility here, but could Poppy derail their plans? After all, Bill made quite a mess by arranging for Luna's house arrest and eventual pardon. Now Bill has delayed calling the cops on Luna while awaiting this paternity test, so there's strikes against him that Poppy could use to her advantage. Poppy might threaten to go after sole custody of her grandbaby unless she can work out an agreement with Bill. Maybe Poppy could use a shared custody situation in hopes of worming her way back into Bill's heart. On the other hand, Poppy might simply decide she needs to do things right this time around and give her grandbaby the stability that she never gave Luna. B&B fans might see Poppy have an epiphany about her bad parenting as she resolves to step up for Luna's little one. Whatever the case, it'd be interesting if Poppy made an unexpected push for custody down the road, so stay tuned for any shocking news ahead. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Luna's baby will remain a source of drama as this storyline moves along. CDL's where you want to be for hot, bold, and the beautiful spoilers, news, and updates, so make us your one-stop B&B source. The Bold and the Beautiful, B&B, spoilers for Wednesday, October 15th, reveal that Sheila Sharp's, Kimberlyn Brown, Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, jealousy will erupt before Deacon Sharp, Sean Cannon. Here's his wife's plea. For starters, Deacon will open up to Taylor in a therapy session and will hope to keep seeing her. Taylor will be willing to give Deacon more support as he navigates his crumbling marriage, especially now that he's moved out. Of course, Sheila will be desperate to convince Deacon to get their relationship back on track. B&B spoilers say Sheila will spy on Deacon and Taylor as the session wraps up, so she'll glare with jealousy as she watches them share a warm embrace. Sheila can be dangerous when she feels threatened, and she'll no doubt view Taylor as a threat to her marriage. Taylor and Sheila already have a rocky history,